Before we begin, please be advised that viewer discretion is strongly recommended. None of the content presented here has been exaggerated or taken out of context. These are the exact statements made by the prosecution team, defense team, security guard, male dancer, Cassie Ventura, special agent, and Don Richard in a federal court on May 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th, 2025. Some words have been censored to comply with YouTube's guidelines. What you're about to hear is a voiced-over reading of every testimony from the Sean Diddy Combs trial so far. Source: courtroom reporter at Inner City Press on X.com. All parties are presumed innocent until proven guilty. Listen at your own discretion. What you're about to hear is every testimony given in the Diddy trial from beginning to end.
We call LAPD Officer Israel Flores.
I'm also a reservist for the Army. I was a guard with Securitas in 2016 at the Intercontinental Hotel near Century City.
What happened on March 5th, 2016?
I was told about the 6th floor. There, I recognized Sean Combs. He is there, wearing a gray sweater.
What was your title?
Assistant Director of Security.
Let me show you a photo of the Intercontinental Hotel.
It's shaped like a pyramid.
What kind of incidents did you respond to?
All kinds. We had a couple of there. We'd prepare incident reports, the 5 Ws.
Would you attach photos to the reports?
Yes, but not video. We did not have the password.
When did this incident take place?
11 a.m. I got a report of a woman in distress on the 6th floor. I closed the security base and checked the cameras. There was an African-American man pacing back and forth. I didn't see a female. I rushed there.
What did you see on the 6th floor?
Mr. Combs in a towel and some light-colored socks. He's a rapper, producer, and Cassie on the floor.
Let me show you photos.
At this moment, the prosecution shows Flores a picture of Diddy in a tuxedo and in a separate photo, Cassie Ventura smiling.
What did you tell them?
That if they were arguing, they'd have to take it back to their room, and that the broken vase would be charged to the room. Cassie said she wanted her phone and her bag. Ms. Cassie said she wanted to leave. Mr. Combs said, "You're not leaving. I saw inside the room a male black wearing dark clothing."
What did Mr. Combs do after Cassie left?
He called for me. He was holding a stack of money, not to tell anyone.
What did you say?
I said, "I don't want your money. The damage is going to be charged to your room."
Where did Cassie go?
After I spoke with her, she left. A car pulled up. She left in a black SUV.
Was there a driver?
7 feet. He said, "She wants to leave." I said, "I'm talking to her, not you." They left.
Then what?
We went up to Mr. Combs' room to remind him of hotel rules. He opens the door and grabs the phone and says, "Are you recording me?" I pinned him to the wall. I took photos of the broken vase to tell them to come clean it up. I went to write the incident report.
Is this it?
My report, with my name on it. At this moment, the defense objected, and the judge said, "Noted." Then they continued.
Then did you review the video?
Yes.
I'm handing you a thumb drive with videos. Did it have audio?
No.
Let's walk through it. Who is this?
Cassie.
And this?
Mr. Combs.
What's happening here?
She picked up the wall phone.
What did you find when you got there?
The broken vase.
What is at the end of this video?
Me coming out of the elevator.
Let's pull up the incident report again.
Here, we reminded him that the checkout time was approaching.
What did you add to the incident report after you reviewed the video?
I described what I saw in the video.
What else did you do with the video?
I recorded 2 videos of it with my iPhone to show my wife at home. At this moment, Flores' video of the Cassie Hotel incident he recorded on his phone with his voiceover, including about how shiny his shoes were, is played for the jury. Then they continued.
Did you work the next day?
No, I had the next 2 days off.
When you came back in, did you look for the video?
I did, but it was gone.
Did you ever see it again?
Yes, recently.
Nothing further.
At this moment, the cross-examination began, and the defense were asking questions now.
You said your report was the 5 Ws, right?
Yes.
You mentioned that when you get off the elevator, 11:14 or 11:15, you describe Mr. Combs as having a devilish expression on his face.
That's my opinion.
When you get off the elevator, what's in your hand?
My radio.
Mr. Combs did not attack you, did he?
No.
And was there any law enforcement involvement?
No.
You videoed for your wife and kept it, right?
I did.
But law enforcement was never called?
They were not.
You told the jury Mr. Combs said to Cassie, "You're not leaving," but your report didn't say that, right?
At that point, I did not believe it was a significant fact. I'm not going to put down the back and forth.
So it wasn't important 9 years ago, but only now.
At this moment, the prosecution objected, but was overruled. I did not put it in the report at the time.
You said you were offered a bribe, but hadn't you told him he had to pay for the vase?
Yes.
The gentleman you say you saw in the room, you described to the jury things not in your report.
He didn't engage.
Why didn't you ask him his name?
He wasn't talking to no one.
Did you tell anyone at the time?
No.
And the 7-foot driver, do you know who it was?
I don't know, but Cassie knew him.
You didn't put in your report that you offered to call law enforcement, but she refused. Why not?
She said no, so there was no reason to include it.
You said you put Mr. Combs against the wall. That's aggressive, isn't it?
It could be, but I only put my forearm against his chest.
But you didn't put that in your report.
You're asking me to have put more detail in my report.
Do you remember the layout?
No, just a corner room.
Was it a normal hotel room like I would stay in? Just one room? Or did it have a living room?
I don't know.
The third party, you said he was on a bed?
It was a pullout.
You were in the hospitality business as well as security, right?
Yes.
Mr. Combs, it was clear to you that he wanted to pay for the damage, right?
At this moment, the prosecution objected, and the judge says, ask in a different way. After that, the defense said,
It can be embarrassing for a guest.
After this moment, the prosecution objected, and the judge sustained. Then the defense said,
One moment, nothing further.
and then the redirect began.
Did you typically include every single detail in a report?
No.
Did he seem drunk or high?
No.
When he offered you money, what did he say?
That he didn't want anyone to know about it, pretty much.
Which way was Mr. Combs dragging Cassie?
Back toward the room.
Nothing further.
At this moment, the judge asked if the defense wanted a recross, and the defense only asked one more question.
They are motion-sensitive cameras, so there are gaps, right?
Yes.
Nothing further.
After this, the judge asked for the next witness, and the government called a male dancer to the stand.
What did Ms. Ventura pay you for?
To have sex with her. Sean Combs was there too. My boss called me and said he couldn't find any of our black dancers, so could I go to a bachelorette party at the Gramercy Park Hotel in downtown Manhattan?
What did you expect to do?
A little stripper dance. She was in the hotel room in a red wig, stockings, and sunglasses. She gave me a few $100s.
What was the room like?
Red couches, Astroglide, a lubricant. There was a man on the right side of the room. The man had on a white robe and a bandana over his face, below his eyes, and baseball cap. From his voice, I recognized him as Sean Combs.
What did he say?
That he was into importing and exporting. He said he was having problems with my boss.
At this moment, the defense objected, and then they continued.
I'll get back to that. After the sex was over, what happened?
Cassie gave me a couple of $1,000s more. He said to give them my phone number. I did. Cassie called me and asked me for a photo.
Then what?
She called me to go back. I did, for a few hours. And then a few times after that.
Combs always present.
Yes.
Any other locations?
Essex House, his residence on 56th Street, I believe 210 at the time, and at her residence on West End Avenue, I think number 10.
What name were you to say you were there to see?
Black. I would send her vulgar text messages.
Like what?
You want me to say it?
Give an example.
I'd text, I want to fuck you right now.
How often did you use baby oil?
Every time. Sean Combs said we didn't have enough baby oil on. He'd say, y'all slow down, separate from each other. One time he tried to have us role play, like we had just met at an airport. We weren't good, so we skipped that.
What direction did Mr. Combs give you?
He'd tell me to step off and back off.
How many times, if any, were you told to urinate on Ms. Ventura?
At this moment, the defense objected on the grounds of suggestive, but was overruled.
They told me not to do it all at once.
At this moment, the defense objected, saying, objection, to him saying they. Then the judge said, I've got it. Then they continued.
What happened afterward?
They'd leave me waiting for hours. The whole thing might go on for 10 hours. They were headed to the Essex Hotel. They said to go in 30 minutes. It was the first time he opened the doors himself, dressed in a suit, no mask.
How did things change?
He didn't feel...
At this moment, the defense objected. Then they continued.
Who, if anyone, recorded?
Mr. Combs with a cell phone and camcorder. He took a photo of my driver's license for insurance. He said...
At this moment, the defense objected, and the judge said, focus it.
What did you understand?
He was threatening me. Once I went and Cassie was slumped over, he said, it's not going to happen this time.
Did Mr. Combs offer you drugs?
Molly, I guess it's called. I don't do drugs. MDMH, MDA. I think. I went out and handed out $100 bills.
How did the Molly make you feel?
Sick and euphoric, and like an idiot handing out $100 bills.
Who else was present?
A guy who told me he was an actual escort. He was having sex with Cassie at her apartment. The guy was like looking at Sean Combs, and Combs said, don't you be fucking looking at me?
The defense objected, and the judge said, let's get a fresh question.
What did he look like?
Black guy, kinda skinny. We exchanged phone numbers.
Have you seen him in 10 years?
No.
Did it ever seem you were not the first person there?
Yes. Half-used Astroglide, towels on the floor.
After the $100 bills, did you see them again?
I couldn't do it anymore.
What did you get paid when you couldn't perform?
Nothing. But I never asked for money. I was happy to get involved with people with such notoriety. But after I saw Sean Combs' Cassie, I couldn't do it anymore.
What was Mr. Combs saying as he met Cassie?
He said, Bitch, when I tell you come over, you come over. I didn't know what to do.
Did you intervene?
No, I knew that the changes there were bodyguards.
At this moment, the defense objected, and it was sustained.
What next?
He said, "Are y'all ready to continue?"
Did you try?
I don't recall.
Did you see them again?
I thought I had developed some sort of friendship with Cassie. I may have been speculating. I went there. I heard him slapping her. He walked out in a towel. She ran to me. I asked, "Why are you staying with this guy?"
At this moment, the defense objected, and the judge asked on what grounds, and the defense said hearsay, and it was overruled.
She said it was okay.
Nothing further.
Let me show you a text message chain between you and Cassie. Is it accurate?
Yes.
You were working for a service.
A male review show.
You were a manager? Male strippers for women?
Yes.
Prostitution was prohibited?
That is correct.
Your job was to build it up?
Yes and no.
I'll go with yes.
At this moment, the prosecution objected, and it was sustained.
Did the company open fake businesses to optimize search results?
Fake addresses, it was just SEO.
You went to optimize the lady's experience?
I have no idea what you mean. It's just our slogan.
Cassie told you to say the name Black?
Yes.
Your boss told you someone wanted a black man stripper?
Yes.
Let me show you.
At this moment, the defense showed something that shouldn't have been put on a screen, and the defense said to take it off. Then they continued.
She was wearing a wig?
Yes.
She handed you money?
She handed me $4,000.
Before any oil rubbing?
Correct.
She had on heels?
And dark glasses.
Where'd the money come from?
Her hand.
You were wearing a New York City Police Department uniform, right?
I bought an NYPD t-shirt.
You took the oil off in front of Cassie?
The oil? No, I took my clothes off. She said, "It's my birthday."
It appears she is enjoying herself?
Yes.
What was your position?
Missionary. I was like, did that just happen?
She asked you for a photo?
I do not know if Sean Combs asked for it.
So, to continue, you returned to the Gramercy Hotel?
Yes.
While you and Ms. Cassie Ventura were having sex for hours, Ms. Ventura took the lead.
No.
You took the lead?
We were equally doing our thing. There wasn't a leader.
You decided together?
Yes.
Fair to say she was in complete control of everything she was doing?
I can't say that.
You did not wear a condom?
I did not.
Your boss told you Ms. Cassie Ventura paid for the hotel?
Yes.
She paid with her credit card?
I have nothing to do with that. She used her card to pay for the dancer.
Okay, that assault at her apartment on 11th Avenue.
I believe it was West End Avenue.
You claim Mr. Combs told her to come over. She said she had her personal information on the computer, so wait a minute. And he threw a bottle at her?
Correct.
He comes out and says, "Are you ready?"
Are you guys ready?
Isn't it true Mr. Combs told you, yo man, I'm gonna have to deal with this? You need to get the fuck out?
That is not correct.
In 2023, didn't you tell prosecutors he said, yo man?
At this moment, the prosecution objected on the grounds of it not being in evidence, and the judge said, you can only use it to try to refresh his recollection.
Read it to yourself. Does it refresh you?
I do not remember saying that. What I am reading here, get the fuck out.
The prosecution objected, and the judge said, disregard that.
Did you date a model named Malia?
Malia, and I didn't say I dated her. We were friends.
You were with her and saw Cassie with someone not Mr. Combs?
Yes.
You told Melia you saw Cassie socially?
Yes.
You thought Cassie wanted to see you one-on-one. Nothing to do with Sean Combs, right?
I don't see what you mean.
In front of the Dream Hotel, that's what you thought?
No.
You only saw her inebriated one time?
I saw her passed out on the couch. Mr. Combs told me, I don't think it's going to happen today.
The time with the other male, you rotated?
Not correct.
You watched?
Yes.
You said Mr. Combs was directing, but do you recall meeting the prosecutors on March 28, 2025, and telling them you didn't recall Mr. Combs giving directions about positions?
Yes.
So he didn't direct?
Incorrect.
You thought you were in a relationship with Cassie, didn't you?
No.
You wanted to get alone with her? To date her?
If she'd let me, I would have.
You'd get jealous of Mr. Combs?
No.
Did you not tell them that Mr. Combs would tell you, it's my turn?
At this moment, the prosecution objected and asked for a sidebar. Then they continued.
Didn't you tell the government that you would feel jealous because you liked Ms. Ventura romantically?
I do not recall that.
Put up 35 to 70.
At this moment, the prosecution said, just for the parties.
I do not recall that.
Nothing further.
Please explain why you now say Mr. Combs directed you.
He asked about positions, but Mr. Combs did tell us what to do. Use baby oil.
The timing of the handing of cash, how did the amount compare to your stripping services?
$3,800 more.
How much were you paid to perform when you could?
$700 to $5,000 or $6,000.
And when you couldn't perform?
They paid me nothing then.
Did Ms. Ventura call you after the Dream Hotel?
Yes.
Do you know who she was with?
No.
Did she answer your text messages?
Never, almost.
You said you wanted to hug her. Why?
I could see she was afraid.
What did you do?
I could not engage. I was messed up.
What did Mr. Combs say to you?
He said, "It's time for you to go."
In the Gramercy Hotel, who was in the room?
Sean Combs, myself, and Cassie.
When she appeared to enjoy herself, was Sean Combs always in the room?
Yes.
Was that the same man who called her bitch and beat her?
I did not see the beating, I presume.
At this moment, the defense objected and it was sustained.
You heard slapping.
Yes.
Nothing further.
This document, do you see where you said, "I'm on the Upper West Side"? She says, 10 West End Avenue, hit me when you're there?
Yes.
Do you see your text, "Don't give a f if I'm a little tipsy, I love y'all N-word"?
Yes.
And that was after the beating?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Why did you write that?
I wanted them to see I had no problem with what he had done. It'd keep it going.
No further questions. The government calls Cassandra Ventura. How old are you?
38.
What is your work?
Musician and entertainer.
How long were you with Sean?
10 years.
Did you get in arguments?
Yes, it would result in dragging.
What else did he do?
Me in the head if I was down.
How frequently was he?
Too frequently. I would get black eyes and
Let me show you a video. Where is this?
the Intercontinental in Los Angeles. It was after a freak-off.
What does that entail?
The hiring of an escort. Setting it up.
How did you feel when he first asked for it?
Confused. Nervous. I wanted to make him happy.
Did you agree to one when he first proposed it?
Yes. Then there were more. It wasn't something I wanted to do. At least not that frequently. I didn't know what no could turn into.
What do you mean?
Making him angry.
What were you afraid would happen if you said no?
That he had materials,
What did you give the government?
laptops.
I've handed up GXB. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I've reviewed this drive. It has communication and documents pertaining to Mr. Combs.
Did you review photos on it?
Yes,
What's this photo?
me in 2004 with Carrie Morgan.
When did you sign with Bad Boy Records?
2006, it was a 10-album deal.
Did you release any after late 2006?
No,
Who's in this photo?
Kim Porter. She was Sean's ex from before me and the mother of his children.
Where did you celebrate your birthday in this photo?
In Las Vegas. Carrie Morgan was there too. We're out on his patio on my 21st birthday, VMAs.
What happened then?
Sean kissed me in the bathroom. I ran back to my hotel. I told Carrie.
When you got back to New York?
I'd visit him at the Trump Hotel in Columbus Circle. His apartment was being renovated.
What were you doing with your music career?
Trying to come up with a concept. Sean called all of the shots.
What is the age difference between you and Sean?
17 years.
How did you feel when Sean invited you to hotels?
Nervous. Excited, like we were going to talk about music. He introduced me to... I didn't understand it.
Did you visit Sean in Miami?
Yes, I went with Carrie Morgan in Dallas, Austin.
What did you and Sean do together?
He gave me Blue Dolphin on a boat.
Had you once before taken unintentionally?
Yes,
How did you take it unintentionally?
it was in Gatorade.
When you took it intentionally with Sean, how did it feel?
Like rolling.
At the time, what did you think?
That we were spending a lot of time together. I thought we were monogamous.
Was it made public?
No, I was his artist. Also, his family, his children.
Who was linked to him publicly?
Kim Porter.
How did Sean treat you at this time?
We had fun.
What was his lifestyle like?
He had all these assistants. He could get things done. He traveled quite a bit.
What's this photo?
Sean and I at a strip club in New York, like 2007 or 2008. Halloween,
How did Sean's moods vary?
day to day.
When it swung, could you describe it?
Anger, zoning out.
How did it impact you?
Greatly. The next thing I knew, I was getting hit in the face. There was also psychological. He'd tell me to watch my mouth, change my face.
How would he keep tabs on you?
We didn't live far apart. He'd send security to come find me, or a trusted assistant.
Like who?
David James, Christina Coram.
Was your relationship exclusive?
No.
Did you see other men?
Yes.
Did Sean see other women?
Yes. He said, "I am Puff Daddy." I was insanely jealous.
Did you move to LA with him?
Yes. He wanted to be close to his kids who were there.
Where did you live in LA?
875 Comstock Avenue.
How tall was the building?
No more than 17 floors.
Where did Sean live?
200 South Mapleton. Sean would use a golf cart to get back and forth.
Who paid your rent in LA?
Sean, except when I had the house in Studio City.
Why'd you pay then?
I could afford it then, and I wanted to have some control. It was accepted.
By whom?
Sean.
How many songs did you write while with Sean?
Hundreds. Most were never released. Some got leaked on the internet, some on mixtapes.
How many albums on your deal were not released?
9.
Did you get paid for them?
No. The freak-offs became a job. There was no time to do anything else but do them, then try to recover.
How much time in your week would freak-offs take?
The longest was 4 days, significant periods of time.
At this moment, there was a break. Then they continued.
Who was your manager at Bad Boy Records?
James Cruz.
What did he tell you?
That he was managing me with one hand tied behind his back. He had to check everything with Sean.
How did you make money if your records weren't being released?
I did hosting parties when Sean approved them.
What comments did Sean make about your physical appearance?
That I looked too Mexican with my hair like that.
How did he like your nails?
White, French tipped.
Hair?
It varied. I shaved my head in 2009.
Your body?
He told me to work out, prepare for the freak-offs.
How did you feel about his comments?
It varied.
What else did Sean pay for?
Cars.
Did he give you cash?
Yes, but he would take things away depending on how he felt.
What else would he take away?
My self-confidence.
Who would take things away?
Staff. I assume staff.
At this point, there was an objection by the defense. Then the judge said to disregard the last answer.
Who took your laptop and phone?
Security.
How long would they be gone for?
However long I was being punished for.
How often were you in contact with Sean's staff?
Daily.
Who are in these photos?
Christina Coram and Ms. Fletcher.
What did you call Ms. Coram?
KK.
And who's this?
D-Rock. He was Sean's security.
How frequently were you in Sean's residences?
All the time.
Did they all have safes?
Yes.
What did you observe in them?
Cash, jewelry, cameras, and videotapes. In New York, LA, Miami, and Alpine, New Jersey.
Do you recall an incident between Sean and Suge Knight?
Yes. We were having a freak-off in LA. D-Rock came in and said Suge was down at a diner. Sean drove over there.
What was your reaction?
I cried, said don't do something stupid.
Were you ever handed a gun?
Yes. We were going to a club in downtown LA. We'd taken mushrooms. I was high. I was told to put the gun in my bag. I was freaking out.
Who was present?
A driver, security, and Sean. Another time I saw them get dressed and grab guns and leave in an SUV.
How long were they gone?
30 or 40 minutes.
Let me switch topics. How soon into the relationship did Sean mention to you?
First 6 months or a year.
How old were you?
22.
Why did you agree to try a freak-off?
Good question. I wanted to make him happy.
Where was the first freak-off?
One of his homes in Los Angeles.
Who is this?
The first escort.
Do you know his name?
No.
I'll call him the first escort. Were you aware he was paid?
Yes. To dance and to have intercourse with me.
What drugs did you take?
Ecstasy and alcohol before things started.
Did you disguise your appearance?
Sean said we would disguise ourselves. I wore a masquerade mask.
What was a session in a freak-off?
Until the escort finished.
How many sessions with the first escort?
At least 2.
How did you feel?
I was high, so I didn't feel much. Dirty and confusion, and that he was happy with me.
Why did you feel you couldn't say no?
I didn't want to make him angry or upset after he'd shared this part of himself with me.
How frequent did the freak-offs become?
Weekly for a consistent amount of years.
When was your last one?
2017, 2018.
How long were you awake during the freak-offs?
I never slept. I took drugs, ecstasy and Molly.
Do you recall all of the freak-offs?
That would be impossible.
Did you want to stop?
Yes. I was humiliated. I didn't have those words then. I couldn't talk to anyone about it.
Did you tell him you didn't want to?
Yes. I brought it up gently. I didn't want him to just do it with someone else.
Were you able to express your concerns to him?
At this moment, the defense objected to the question, and the judge told the prosecutor to rephrase his question.
Why would you talk to him gently?
I didn't want him to be angry.
What is this?
Email between me and Sean.
What did you call him?
Pop.
Why?
He asked me what I called my grandfather. I did it, but now I think it was disrespectful.
What did you write?
I really need to
Why did you write that?
because I wanted to be with him.
I'll read Sean's messages. You read yours. You don't want to do any more?
I'm so predictable.
What did you think this meant?
That he knew I didn't want to do the freak-offs anymore, but then I backpedaled.
Why?
To not make him angry. He could be violent.
Where'd you get your outfit?
Pleasure chest elsewhere.
Did you get piercings?
Yes, Sean came with me.
Which of his homes did you have freak-offs in?
Miami, New York.
What other homes?
My homes, all but Studio City.
In what other cities?
Atlanta, Ibiza.
In what hotels in New York did you have freak-offs?
Trump, Gramercy.
Intercontinental?
44th Street, yes.
Elsewhere?
Mandarin Oriental, Fontainebleau.
What names were used?
Jackie Starr I used. Frank Black.
What supplies were used for freak-offs?
Astroglide, baby oil, condoms.
Who brought the supplies?
Security, Sean's assistants.
Which brand of baby oil?
Johnson's.
How was it used?
Sean said, "You need to be glistening."
Were there freak-offs where you ran out of baby oil?
After this question, the defense objected the question on the ground of it being irrelevant. Then the prosecutor asked this question,
You also mentioned Astroglide.
but was also objected over the same reason. Then the judge asked for a sidebar. After the sidebar, they continued.
We were just talking about Astroglide. How was it used?
Lubricant.
If you ran out, what would you do?
We'd call either staff or the bell desk, give them a tip.
Were the freak-offs lit?
Initially, it was a candle, strong smelling, Glade.
Any other use of candle wax?
A few times poured on my body.
Who set the temperature of the room?
Sean, I was expected to do freak-offs on my period.
Did you want to do that?
No.
Did you want to be urinated on?
After this question, the defense objected, giving the reason of asked and answered, but the judge overruled it.
No, I did not want it.
How did it feel?
It was disgusting. It was too much. I choked. No one could think I wanted it.
Why were you choking?
Too much in my mouth.
Who else urinated on you?
Sean.
Did you want Sean to urinate on you?
I didn't want anyone to urinate on me.
How often did it happen?
Often enough.
Which hotel charged the most for damage to the room?
The Intercontinental in New York. They redecorated the whole room for ridiculous money.
Back to the urination. Why didn't you say no?
It was obvious I didn't want to be on the ground being urinated on by two men.
Where did you find escorts?
Initially, Craigslist.
At this moment, they took a break, but then continued.
Ms. Ventura, in what cities did you respond to ads on Craigslist?
In New York.
Did you respond to ads on Backpage as well?
Yes.
Who directed you to communicate with escorts?
At this moment, the defense objected to the question. Then the prosecution asked another question
Who, if anyone?
before being interrupted by another objection due to assuming a fact not in evidence.
Did you ever reach out to an escort independently?
No.
Did you ever not use an escort who arrived?
One couldn't perform, so Sean sent him on.
What was a safe escort?
Not a cop, and someone who'd not run and tell everyone about their experience with us.
Why not a cop?
I learned this whole situation was not legal.
Before Cassie could finish her answer, the defense objected, and the judge said the jury will disregard that answer.
How did Cash get there?
Security, or he brought it himself.
The escort Dave. Do you know his real name?
Clayton Howard.
Who is this? Photo shown to witness.
Daniel.
What service did you use?
A dancer service.
Do you recognize Jules?
Yes.
In what cities did you have freak-offs with Jules?
New York, Los Angeles, Vegas.
Do you know his last name?
No.
Who's this?
I knew him as the Punisher.
Did you use drugs at every freak-off?
Yes. I need to disassociate and become emotionless.
Who else used drugs at freak-offs?
Sean did. Sometimes the escort.
What other drugs did you use?
Special K, GHB, mushrooms.
I'll read Sean's parts of this email. You read yours.
When should I take the thing? When will you be there?
Pausing you there, what did you mean?
Drugs.
I took mine. I'm flying. What does he mean?
He's high.
Why did you take more drugs?
To not be present with the experience.
Why?
Because it was something I hated.
How did you react to ecstasy and MDMA?
It could make me vomit.
What would he say?
To continue.
Did you want to continue to have intercourse when you wanted to vomit?
No.
How does GHB make you feel?
Drunk. Tipsy.
Cocaine?
Makes my heart race. I'm not a huge fan.
Mushrooms?
The walls come alive.
After that answer, they took a break, but then returned and continued.
When drugs ran out, how did you know who to reach out to?
Sean would tell me.
During the session, how would you know to move to the next step?
Sean.
What would happen after the escort f***ed on you?
Sean would want it body in the next room.
Did you do that?
I did.
Where?
Usually.
Did you want to do that?
No.
How did you feel?
I was an object, being heavily objectified by men. Sometimes he would watch by FaceTime.
Were some sessions recorded on your devices?
Because they were there.
If you saw them on your device, what would you do?
I would delete them.
Why?
They were disgusting. I never wanted anyone to see them.
Were Sean's devices used sometimes?
Yes, I asked him to delete them.
Did he?
I don't know.
Did you ever leave a freak off before it was over?
Yes, at the Century City Intercontinental. I finally had a premiere coming up and I didn't want to mess it up, but Sean hit me.
At what point did Sean hit you?
Between sessions.
What happened next?
I got to the elevator. Next thing I knew, I was thrown to the ground.
Who threw you down?
Sean. He grabbed me by my neck and my hoodie.
Let me show you the video.
At this point, the prosecution showed Cassie the hallway video.
What are you doing?
Trying to use the hotel phone.
What is Sean doing?
Taking my phone and my bag.
Ms. Ventura, I just handed you 2 drives. What is on them? GX8?
Messages and photos from my devices.
Yesterday you testified about Sean going armed to look for Suge Knight.
Sean took guns with him.
And he told you to ask the escorts if they were cops?
I would begin by saying I was not a cop.
Sean told you to do that?
Yes.
What happened when you fought back?
I did that more earlier in the relationship. It would make him more violent, want to push me harder.
At this moment, the defense objected on ground of speculation, but was overruled.
How would Sean react if you fought back?
Anger.
I'm going to show you the LA Intercontinental hallway again. Play from 143 to 146. Who enters?
Sean.
What's in his hand?
He doesn't appear to have anything.
Play to 159. Now anything in his hand?
My phone.
How did he get it?
Well, he took all of my stuff.
Where does he end up?
Sitting in a chair in front of the window.
What are you doing?
I'm walking away from him.
Now who's in the video?
Me and security.
In this one, play from 531. Where did you go from the hotel?
I took an Uber.
Now let's turn to text messages. Can you read page 4?
Please call, I'm surrounded.
Who sent that?
From Sean. He was running around in a towel. I told him to put the robe on.
Who sent these green messages?
I did. I wrote to Sean. Jules left. As long as you're quiet, you can stay. Peace.
Who was Jules?
Escort.
Is this Jules?
Yes.
B606 and 607 side by side.
That's me. A selfie of me with a fat lip.
When did you take it?
In the Uber. With one of my phones.
What did you write here?
I said, please stay away from me.
And what does he say?
He says, I'm getting arrested.
Was he?
I don't think so.
What did you write back?
Plugging my phone in and going to bed.
Who was at your home when you got there?
Carrie Morgan. She was upset when she saw me. She called the police.
Did you speak with them?
Yes, but I didn't say who I was talking about and they left.
Why?
I wasn't ready.
Did Sean try to come to your apartment?
Yes, he was banging. That was pretty normal from him, but this is a pretty private building.
Did you hear from Ms. Coram that day?
Yes, and I went to see D-Rock and his wife to try to feel safe.
In this photo, what are you wearing?
A gown and sunglasses. I had a black eye.
What if any other bruising was visible?
I had several bruises on my leg, but I changed clothes.
What's this?
Me and Sean at the after party.
I'm going to show you escorts. Do you know the name of this person?
No.
In what cities did you use him?
New York.
Who's this?
Islander. He was on Latin Men. We used him in LA and maybe Vegas.
Who's this? 2A616?
We called him Tommy.
Who is this?
I know him as Greg, an escort in Miami.
Who's this?
Jonathan. We saw him in Miami.
Who's this? Red baseball cap backwards.
I don't know. He looks familiar from the freak-offs.
What did you write here?
This is all we do. I'm just getting back on track. I'm sure you can call Kim or something.
What did you mean by this is all we do?
Freak-offs.
Did you try to avoid anything in the freak-offs?
I tried to avoid kissing. It seems too intimate. But Sean told me to do it, to kiss the escorts.
What did Sean ask you to do on your 29th birthday?
A freak-off. He had me pulled out of the Blind Dragon for the freak-off. Some security.
What about blackmail material?
He wanted me to fear.
At this moment, the defense objected but was overruled.
When would Sean mention the freak-off videos?
To hurt me. One time I was dating someone else and he threatened to release the freak-off videos. I'd have to answer to my mother. It's horrible and disgusting. No one should do that to anyone.
What did Sean say the impact would be?
Shame.
Let me show you a chat. Who's on it?
Me and Sean. July 22nd, 2013.
Read your message.
I wrote, please delete the videos off your phone. Too many people have access to your devices. He said, no iCloud. All good. Ambien kicking in.
At this point, The prosecution requested a sidebar, and the judge then called for a break to change some things in the courtroom. During the break, Combs was seen sitting at the defense table, speaking with his lawyer, Xavier Donaldson. After that, the prosecution stated there were issues with the privacy screens and said they would put that off and do something else now. Then, they brought the jury and Cassie Ventura back into the courtroom and continued.
I offer more exhibits. What did you say here?
I'd been told there was a sexually explicit video out there about me. I reached out to Sean.
Then what?
We were driving back to NYC from Atlantic City to talk to this DJ, Who Kid,
Did that happen?
at a restaurant.
What was security's role?
To intimidate, they were lining the room.
Who was there?
Uncle Paulie, James Cruz.
How would you recover from a freak off?
I'd take I wanted to feel numb. We'd get massages, IV fluids. The chef would cook us something.
How often did you take after freak offs?
Often. I got urinary tract infections.
Were the UTIs painful?
Very. Antibacterials didn't work anymore.
How did it feel during freak offs?
Burning. I would not advise it.
Let's read this out loud.
I have all these sores on my tongue. I have another UTI.
What sores?
Friction in my mouth.
From what?
Oral.
You said another UTI, then sad face emoji.
I was open with him about them.
So you feel sick.
Why are you sorry? I took the blame for things.
Which escort would go to clubs with you and Sean?
Jules.
The escort from the Intercontinental in LA.
Yes.
Did you want to have sex with Jules? Ever?
No, but I knew him.
Why did you do it?
Sean.
Who was present when Sean put his hands on you at freak-offs?
Sometimes the escort was there too.
In the same room?
Yes, Jules.
And in the suite?
Yes.
Were they aware?
At this moment, the defense objected but was overruled.
Yes. The escorts would ask me if I was okay afterward.
In what cities did he put his hands on you?
New York, Los Angeles, Miami.
How frequently?
Too frequently.
What's the Abbey?
A gay club in LA. I went there with my friend.
Where were you going?
To a music festival in Canada run by Drake. Sean came to my home and tried to attack me. I was thrown into the bed frame.
What's this?
A photo of my eye afterward.
Who took you to the doctor?
D-Rock.
Did you send this photo to Sean?
Yes, and I wrote, so you can remember. I wanted him to be sorry about it at least.
In this photo, where were you?
In the green room in Toronto. I put my hair over my eye. Then we went to the Hamptons. Sean wanted to have a freak off in the Hamptons. We got a hotel and an escort.
Which one?
Dave. I took G.B. I went into a G hole and blacked out. I woke up nude in the shower. Dave and Sean were freaking out. I bugged out. It wasn't pretty.
Then what?
I spoke to a friend of Sean's, and then we had a freak off.
What's this?
My eyebrow healed up a little bit. A week later, I have a permanent scar on my eyebrow.
What's this?
Me at the Cannes Festival.
What happened at Cannes?
Sean accused me of taking from his boat. He threw me off, but my passport was still on the boat.
And you were on the red carpet that same night?
Yes.
Did you attend the movie?
Yes.
How did you get back to New York?
On a commercial flight. I traded my seat to get away, but he traded to get next to me.
What did he show you?
Freak off videos. He played them for me on one of his laptops. He said he'd release them.
How did you feel?
Trapped.
When you landed in New York, what did you do?
We went to a dinner. Then he wanted to have a freak off, so we had a freak off.
Why did you do it?
To make him not me.
Let's read these from June 13th, 2013. Had Sean been violent with you before this?
Yes.
Had you told him before you didn't want to do freak-offs?
Yes.
You said you needed GHB?
Yes, and that 2 escorts weren't available. I wrote, only Paul available, or Jake the white guy. But he can't do until 11. The other guy can do earlier. It's just one more person knowing our secret.
What did you mean?
The freak-offs.
What is SLS?
A hotel in Hollywood.
When would you take Valium before a freak-off?
When I had anxiety, Sean's driver was bringing me the Valium. It was Raheem, I think.
I have a binder for the court. The gallery will not be able to see these exhibits. Ms. Ventura, I will show you some exhibits. 2A404. Who is it?
She worked for Sean.
We will call her Mia. When you gave your devices to the government, were they working?
No, they were broken.
Put up 602A for Ms. Ventura and the jury only. What's on your skin?
Oil.
When did Sean first hurt you physically?
It started in the first year.
What staffer were present when Sean was physical with you?
At this moment, the defense objected on the grounds of physical is vague, then the prosecution was more direct.
Punching, hitting. When did Sean first use violence on you?
In New York City. We were in a car with his security, and he knocked me around.
What did he do?
He hit me in the side of the head. I fell to the floor of his Escalade.
In January 2009, did you attend an event in LA with Sean?
Yes?
What happened as you left?
I'd been speaking to a producer about music. Sean called me a slut. I hit him in the face. I had been drinking.
Did you see any injuries?
No, I was on the floor of the car, and he stomped on my face.
How long did this last?
10 minutes. Then I tried to get away, but Sean's security brought me back.
Who?
Roger Bonds.
What did they tell you?
To go to a hotel. They snuck me into the hotel covered up so no one could see my face.
How long were you at the London hotel?
A week? A little more. An assistant brought me ice cream.
What was the assistant's name?
Genevieve.
Did you feel you could leave the London hotel?
No, I understood his capability, his access to guns, the threats he made.
When you were taken to the hotel after the assault?
Trust me, we know that didn't make sense, but let's continue.
No.
Did you know that this assault incident was reported?
I know there was a blind item on the internet without our names.
Who raised the blind item to you?
My mother.
At this moment, the defense objected. It wasn't said what grounds, but the prosecution then said,
Not for the truth.
then the judge overruled the defense's objection.
This was before FaceTime was very popular, so I could hide myself. She asked if it was me.
What did you say?
No, I did not want my mother to know something of that magnitude and be in danger.
When you went to a party with your girlfriends, what happened?
I saw executives from BET. Then I heard that Sean was there.
What did you do?
I left. I ran out as fast as I could.
Why?
I thought he was angry.
Did he come to the hotel where you were staying?
Yes, he beat me up and called me names. My face was bruised.
This photo. Who is it?
Scott Mascuti, known as Kid Cudi. We dated in 2011.
Did Sean find out?
Yes, in my phone. Sean went through my phone during a freakout. He found an email.
About what?
Taking my toiletry bag to Scott's the next day. Sean put a wine opener in his hand and threatened me. I called Scott on a burner phone.
Where did you go?
To Scott's house. Then I talked with Capricorn Clark, one of Sean's assistants.
Then what?
I went to the house Sean was staying at. He told me he would release videos and hurt Scott and I.
What videos?
Freak-off videos of me. Sean kicked me in the back. I got a bruise.
Where'd you go?
To my hotel with the burner phone. The room was torn up. Someone peed all over the floor, pooped in the toilet, and didn't flush it. It was gross. This was just before Christmas. I sent an email to my mom in Capricorn from my flight to Boston and Connecticut.
What did you write?
That Sean said he would release the tape of me on Christmas, and he'd had Scott and I hurt. He said he would be out of the country then.
What are these photographs?
My mother took them in Connecticut of the bruises on my back.
Were you entirely honest with your mother about the abuse?
No, I said this was the first time.
Did you tell her about the freak-offs?
No. Is it possible to take a break?
At this moment, Cassie asked to take a break. The reason is unclear, perhaps because of her pregnancy. Or maybe the questions were making her uncomfortable that she needed a break. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's continue. Once they came back, the judge asked the prosecution, how much longer were they planning to question Cassie? The prosecution said 1 more hour, and that their goal was to finish the direct and allow the start of cross-examination today. Then they continued.
Did anyone come to see you in Connecticut?
Scott did for a few days. I broke it off with him. It was too dangerous.
At this moment, the defense objected, and the judge overruled it.
Sean said he would hurt both of us.
Where did you go after Connecticut?
I went to see Sean. He was in Arizona, his son, college. I told my mother I was going to LA for work.
Did Sean talk about Scott's car?
Sean said he wanted Scott's friends to see Scott's car blown up.
What happened next?
We met, Sean, Scott, and me. Scott said, "What about my vehicle?" And Sean said, "What vehicle?" And that was the end of the meeting.
Put up the photo. What is this?
Me and Sean in Kingston, Jamaica for Sound Clash.
Were you bruised?
Yes.
And this photo, what is it?
Me in Sean's bathroom, September 18th, 2015.
What were you doing there?
Recuperating from being beaten up by Sean in Las Vegas. We were having an after party in our suite. I talked to a producer, and Sean tapped me on the shoulder, called me into our room and beat me, kicked me as I tried to hide behind the toilet.
What stopped it?
D-Rock and James Cruz came in. It made D-Rock sad.
What are these communications?
From D-Rock to me. He says, "Where you at? It's time to ice your face."
Why?
I had just been beaten up by Sean.
Were these all the times he beat you?
No, there were more.
With who else did you see Sean be violent?
I saw him drag an assistant out of bed. I saw him punch Eli or Ely in his head. One time in Turks and Caicos, he dragged a person. I believe we had a freak-off in Turks and Caicos.
What floor did you live on in 875 Comstock?
17th floor.
Did a friend stay with you?
Yes. Sean came and held her and threw her on the patio furniture out on the balcony. I saw Sean bring her back in from over the balcony, then throw her on the patio furniture.
And Carrie Morgan?
I saw Sean hit her in the head.
Did you get drugs on your own?
Occasional drug dealers, opiates, Xanax, Valium. Sean would put the pills in a vitamin C bottle on the sink in the New York apartment. He'd say, "You can take them." He had doctors who would write the scripts in the name of an assistant, or in my name.
Your brother's birthday party in Connecticut in 2013. What happened?
My mother told me someone was taking pictures of me. I went and punched her in the head.
You testified your relationship with Sean ended in 2018. How was your health?
I was sleepwalking. I had PTSD.
At this moment, the defense objected, but the judge overruled it.
What's this?
A photo of my front door in 2018.
Publish it to the jury. Why is there a knife there?
Sean was coming around a lot, so I had it.
August 2018. What happened?
We were having a closure conversation at a restaurant in Malibu. He was trying to convince me to go to Burning Man.
Were you seeing anyone?
My now husband.
What happened next?
Sean came to my house and raped me on my living room floor. His eyes were black. It was like taking something from you.
You cried. What did Sean do?
He continued and fished inside of me. Then he got up and left.
Did you ever have sex with him again?
Yes, voluntarily. We had a good night. I went back to his house.
Can you explain why you did that after he raped you?
We had been together 10 years.
Who did you stay in touch with?
Most people, though I pulled away.
What did you message Sean about after that?
Just checking in.
What did he send you?
That he had iPads full of images. Get him his money.
Money back for what?
For having paid my now husband to be my trainer.
What did you write back?
Do you want me to tell the truth? It's much deeper than iPads. There was abuse, more than freak-offs. There was a time I couldn't take the pain, tried to walk out in traffic. My husband wouldn't let me. I had trauma therapy.
Did you write?
A book with chapters. My mom helped.
What did you want with the book?
That Sean read it.
What pain did Sean put you through?
Shame. To carry the things that were shameful for him. I took on a lot of responsibility for that I never should have. He brought the concept to me when I was 22. It was expected of me. I felt terrible.
How did you get chapters to Sean?
Through my attorney, and I reached out to KK. I asked her if he read it. She said it was not taken seriously.
How much did you ask for the book?
$30 million.
Did you sue?
November 2023.
What happened with the lawsuit?
It settled for $20 million in 24 hours.
Why are you testifying in this trial?
I can't carry this anymore. What's wrong is wrong. I treated people like they were disposable. Escorts, anybody.
How many freak-offs did you have with Sean?
Impossible to know. Hundreds.
After you broke up with Sean, did you ever do a freak-off?
No.
No further questions.
Ms. Ventura, you loved Mr. Combs, correct?
I did.
For 11 years, you took care of him.
In some ways.
You called him larger than life.
I did.
Others called him Diddy or Puff Daddy, but you called him Sean, right?
Yes.
You knew a version of him the rest of the world couldn't see, right?
At this moment, the prosecution objected, but was overruled.
In ways.
You kept coming back to him for 11 years?
I wouldn't say coming back.
You believed he loved you too.
I did believe he loved me too.
So when he cheated on you, it hurt.
Not every time.
At this moment, the defense said,
Bring up this defense exhibit.
but the prosecution objected and said it was not in evidence, and the judge agreed that it was not in evidence. Then they continued.
Ms. Ventura, read this just to yourself. Why did you send this message?
To let him know I was going to dinner.
What was going on when these messages were sent?
I'm not sure.
What was going on in your relationship then?
It was early. We were loving.
I offer it.
At this moment, the prosecution objected on the grounds of being offered the truth, but was overruled.
Please read.
I wrote, I love you, smiley face. I'll fly anywhere for you. I love you, Cass.
This 2009 email.
At this moment, the prosecution objected on the grounds of hearsay, and the judge told the defense to ask more questions.
From BlackBerry. What is BG?
Baby girl.
What did you write?
You hungry, Pop Pop?
And Mr. Combs wrote to you, "We are so in love we don't do anything else." How long had you been seeing each other?
Like 2.5 years.
Please read this 1364.
I haven't talked to you at all. You don't even try. You rushed me off the phone. I'm really hurt. I don't need your money. I need some attention.
You wanted your special time with Mr. Combs?
Yes.
You testified that you told him, "I love you so much you make me a better woman."
I definitely wrote those messages.
You wrote, "I can't wait until we have a baby of our own." You knew that he had 6 children at the time?
Yes.
Now, these messages about freak-offs, when you say, "You know it doesn't matter to me," you mean weekend or weekday, either is fine.
That's what it says.
Mr. Combs says, "Maybe we can call Jules. Can you do it?"
Yes.
This was an explicit message from you about the upcoming freak-off.
At this moment, the prosecution objected, and it ended in a recess called by the judge, but once they returned, they continued.
Ms. Ventura, this is from Mr. Combs to you. You respond with an extremely explicit message, right?
Yes.
This is 2 days after planning a freak-off, right?
Yes.
He said, "I want to see..." How did you reply?
I can't wait either.
You wrote, "I feel like I want to fuck," right?
That's what it says.
Mr. Combs says, "I'm so horny I can't concentrate." What do you say?
That I'll go to Dwayne Reed for candles and then set up the room.
Did you understand that he was going to take another video of you?
At this moment, the prosecution objected on grounds of speculation, and the judge told the defense to move on.
You ask, "Any pills on you?"
Yes.
What pills were you taking then?
Opiates.
You deleted videos on your devices, right?
Yes.
What did you write?
That I need to feel this is my husband, the only one who will see this side of me.
Were you afraid that Mr. Combs was only seeing you for sex in this way?
That was a concern.
You still were not public in your relationship with him?
Correct.
Were freak-offs important?
Integral to us.
Who was at your 21st birthday party in Las Vegas?
Britney Spears, Dallas Austin.
How did you get them there?
They came for Sean.
You're very beautiful and charming.
Thank you.
It's true. Who is Tommy Mottola?
A well-known producer.
You were an up-and-coming star?
I guess you could say that.
After you signed with Bad Boy, things were still platonic.
Yes.
You had a rough performance.
106 in Park. It did not go well for me.
How did he help you after that?
We did a YouTube video. He said, "Everybody makes mistakes."
What was wrong?
I couldn't hear myself.
You were dating Mr. Leslie. How much older than you was he?
10 years.
Then you traveled to Miami with Mr. Combs. The flyer of the event was just a cover to spend time with Mr. Combs, right?
That's true.
You had a tattoo of Mr. Leslie's initials on your body, right?
Yes.
How many tattoos did you have then?
At this moment, the prosecution objected on the grounds of relevance. The judge overruled it and said, "But let's keep it moving."
3.
The one on your arm?
No regrets.
Mr. Combs taught you how to do oral sex?
He did.
Look at this. Tell me when you're ready. Can you read it?
You can read it. It's making me laugh. It's from 2007.
You wrote, "I feel protected. You are sweet." You wrote, "I see that Carrie is better fitting for you. I'm hurt that you think I'm malicious. You're very important to me." Cass. What were you trying to convey?
It's like a journal entry.
You discussed Carrie Morgan. Did you think Mr. Combs was attracted to her?
There was a point in the very beginning.
Did that complication carry on in your relationship?
Not really. Carrie was just always with us.
I'd like to start asking about freak-offs. Sometimes you wore a wig and a mask?
Yes.
The general public did not know.
At this moment, the prosecution objected, and the judge told the defense to rephrase the question.
No one knew until November 2023 in the public.
Yes.
Fair to say his career was ruined after your lawsuit?
I can understand that.
Let's read these messages. Mr. Combs wrote, "When are you on your period?"
No, now.
What you be thinking about when you horny. Ms. Ventura, if you don't want to read the answers, I can read them.
Thank you.
The O has lots of oohs after it, right?
Yes.
After a freak off, you'd make love with Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Your period, Mr. Combs is asking when you're on it, right?
Yep.
He's asking in the context of when to meet up and have sex.
Looks like it.
Sometimes you watched him with a female?
2 or 3 times.
Did you talk with Mr. Combs about the swingers lifestyle?
That no one talks about it.
Were you keeping freak-off secret from your friends?
Yes.
His assistants help him?
With everything.
Would you remember if an assistant came in during one of your sessions with an escort?
Not necessarily. I was high.
So you don't remember much.
I had my privacy invaded a lot during that relationship.
This is from July 2012. You say to Mr. Combs, "I'm horny and bored." This was after a freak off, right?
There are a lot of texts here.
At this moment, the prosecution said,
I would ask that the witness be allowed to read the entire document.
then the judge asked how many pages. The defense said,
8.
then the prosecution said,
We don't have a copy for the witness.
so the defense said,
We'll show it on the screen.
so it was shown, but not in the public gallery.
You said Mr. Combs often put you down, but he also sent you encouragement and called you a queen, right?
Yes.
At this moment, the judge asked for a sidebar, then continued.
What would trigger Mr. Combs' incessant calls to you?
Anger. Doubt about where I was.
If he suspected you of cheating, he'd call you incessantly
That was one of the reasons.
because he thought,
At this moment, the prosecution objected, and it was sustained.
do you believe Mr. Combs has good taste?
I think he does.
He's had an impact on fashion.
People like his style. Sean John.
Did you consult with him on your look?
Sometimes I got advice I didn't ask for.
He still ran his companies even while having all these freak-offs, right?
He did.
What was he addicted to?
Success.
What substances? Opiates?
Yes, he told me, and I saw it.
Did Mr. Combs' mood depend on whether or not he was withdrawing from opiates?
He was more irritable, I would say.
What other drugs was Mr. Combs addicted to?
At this moment, the prosecution objected on the ground of no foundation, but the judge said, I'll ask if I want the grounds, then sustained and said to rephrase it.
What was his drug of choice?
Ecstasy or MDMA.
Opiates daily?
When he was doing them.
You saw him withdraw.
Yes.
Let's turn to GX411.
At this moment, the prosecution said,
It's not in evidence yet.
then they continued.
So B414, page 3 and 4. You wrote, I love our FOs when we both want it. You felt that?
Loving FOs were just words at that point.
Mr. Combs wrote to you, I want to freak out right now. And you wrote that you wanted it too. LOL me too.
I texted more than that.
But you did text that to him. Mr. Combs wrote to you, Jules is available if you're into it. You could have said yes or no, and you said love you.
There was no yes or no.
Bring up B420 on page 2. Mr. Combs wrote, do I have your permission to set up freaky fun? You wrote, ovulation.
Yes.
Here, what do you say?
I asked, which hotel? I must have called him in between. I don't want to assume anything.
He said montage. You said you could also go to Pleasure Chest. What would you get there?
Sexual supplies.
What supplies?
Lubricants, outfits.
He says, have fun, impress me. You say, okay. He says, well, can we kiss a lot? What do you say?
Yes.
You wrote, I left the iPad.
I don't know whose iPad this meant.
Mr. Combs wrote, I'll be there right after my session. This was in June 2017. Do you remember arguments you were having at that time?
Not specifically.
Here you say, the game starts at 10 p.m. No breaking character till 8 a.m.
This was a game a friend of mine told me. A way to rekindle your romance.
By doing something different in the bedroom?
It's a whole getting into character thing.
Mr. Combs says, let's get some outfits and go to sex club. Mr. Combs wrote, surprise package coming from out of state. Why can't I reach you? What do you say?
I was getting my brows done.
Did you come to know Mr. Combs was leaving to freak off to go see Kim Porter?
Yes.
How did you find out about Gina? How did you feel? Did it upset you?
Yes.
It prompted arguments?
It did.
And he thought you were not faithful. What were his reactions?
It was scary.
Mr. Combs wrote to you, let's do something different in NYC this weekend. FYI, Dave hit me. What does hit mean?
Reached out.
And Daniel contacted you. Did this mean you might have a freak off?
Might?
He tells you, you better put me on VIP vibrate alarm or something. He's frustrated you don't answer his texts fast enough.
Right.
You tell him to come to NYC understanding there could be a freak off.
Maybe.
You also saw the Book of Mormon.
Yes.
Masked Pleasure. Is that a sex club?
I would assume.
He asks, "Are you ready for tonight?" What do you say?
Yes, I just have to get some things. This is not about what I felt, right? Because you are skipping over a lot here.
What did you write?
As much as you think you're Bruce Willis, you're not. Your kids were babies when we started dating.
If you saw him on social media on vacation with others, it was heartbreaking?
It could be. I was 7 years in.
And what about this? About Gina? You wrote, "I don't want to be a side piece, but I'll treat you as a king." You wanted to be the main girlfriend?
In 2013, yes.
You saw social media posts of Mr. Combs with other girlfriends and got angry, right?
Can I speak? I was jealous of certain situations.
Did there come a time he suspected you were in a relationship with someone in the industry, Mr. Mascuti?
Yes.
Mr. Combs thought it could be good for your career if you collaborated with Mr. Mr. Mascuti.
Yes.
Why did you begin your relationship with Mr. Mascuti?
We enjoyed each other's company.
You were in a relationship with Mr. Combs?
We were on a break.
But you were still doing freak-offs with him.
Yes.
After Mr. Combs found out by going through your phone, you went to see him. You knew he was upset. He previously attacked you.
Yes. I thought I'd be safer with other people there.
Your affair with Mr. Mascuti was only a month long, but you got a burner phone for it?
Right.
Mr. Combs kicked you in the back?
Yes.
This came up later in your relationship that you had cheated on him with Kid Cudi.
He brought it up quite a bit.
When he cheated, he said, "Well, you had an affair with Kid Cudi, right?"
Sometimes.
He suspected you of having an affair with another person in the industry. You were in South Africa filming?
Yes, Honey 3.
While you were there, you saw a photo of Mr. Combs with Gina and were irate, right?
Angry?
You blocked him and focused on the movie, right?
I tried my best.
Mr. Combs suspected you of a relationship with whom?
Michael B. Jordan.
You sent a video not only to Mr. Combs, but also to staff. Who? D-Rock?
Yes.
You sent it to them because you were angry with all of them.
I was hurt. I spent all my time with them.
You thought they were in on it. The physical abuse. When did your father learn about it?
Same time as my mother.
Did Mr. Combs come to Connecticut to speak to your parents?
I don't know if it was then.
Carrie Morgan knew about the abuse.
Yes.
The eyebrow gash incident. What was it about?
Didn't answer the phone and went to sleep. I was supposed to be packing for a trip.
He was inebriated?
I don't remember that.
Why were you asleep?
A drink at the Abbey had something in it, I think.
Did Mr. Combs ever abuse you while he was inebriated, then say he didn't remember it?
Yes.
Did you feel he was not taking responsibility?
Yes.
For drugs, you'd both go to rehab?
Rehab wasn't really a thing during our relationship.
The freak-offs were an opportunity for you to take drugs together?
Yes.
You went a lot to Burning Man?
Yes.
Did you ever call yourselves Get High partners?
We did.
Did you take drugs from him without him knowing it?
Yes.
What was his reaction?
Explosive.
Did he tell LA dealers not to deal to you?
Yes.
You told Ms. Coram that you learned only after the fact that Mr. Combs had dangled Ms. Bongolan off the balcony?
I'm not sure.
You were on drugs?
I'm not sure.
You got a life coach for your drug use, according to this document.
I don't know who that person is.
You were doing a lot of drugs?
It was a rough time.
You tried to get into a rehab, the Golden Door.
It was a spa. There was a time I lost all sense of smell and taste and woke up in a hospital with an IV in my arm. I tried then to get help.
The time after San Bernardino, you learned that he had overdosed.
A very strong opiate, yes.
Were you ever not addicted to painkillers?
We took Ibogaine.
Where did you get it?
Cancun, Mexico, separately.
When Mr. Combs threw you off the boat in Cannes, when he accused you of taking drugs and squeezed your leg.
Among other things.
But you still wanted to be with him?
I did.
Switching topics, when you say Mr. Combs went with guns to find Suge Knight, do you remember telling the government that you did go with them?
No.
Let me show you.
At this moment, the prosecution said,
Just for the parties.
Then they continued.
I did not go with them, so I don't think I said that.
You also did with Ms. Morgan, right?
Yes.
Do you recall telling the government that you did not see what he did, hitting her in the head with a wooden hanger?
I saw the hanger. I saw he was angry that I was doing drugs with Carrie.
This broke up your 17-year friendship with her?
It did.
Did you tell Mr. Combs about your relationship with your now husband?
No.
Ms. Morgan sued you and Mr. Combs.
Made a demand.
And you paid part of that?
I did.
And you haven't spoken with her since?
Maybe one text.
That was the relationship ender?
Yes.
You would heat up the baby oil?
Yes.
Now, is this from the day before the Intercontinental Hotel incident?
At this moment, the prosecution said,
This is a long document. We need time to read it.
so they took a break.
Is this from March 4th?
At this moment, the prosecution said,
With UCT time, it is March 3rd.
then continued.
Okay, Mr. Combs refers to accessories.
For the premiere.
You sent him an explicit message?
Yes.
He responded with with a number of M's. He wrote, "Too bad you have to work, LOL."
He did.
You ask him, "Are you feeling better?" Then he's discussing bodily function.
Yes. Could we just clarify what time these messages are really from with the UCT?
At this moment, the prosecution said,
There's a stipulation on that.
and this document was shown. You can pause to read it if you want. Then they continued.
Mr. Combs went to your premiere lunch at the London Hotel?
He did.
Then he says, "I just got out of a spiritual therapy session."
I asked, how did it go?
He said, "It's a process. This is leading up to the hotel incident. You say, 'Baby, I want to FO so bad.' You were asked in your direct and said you didn't want him to ruin your premiere."
Sure.
Mr. Combs says, "If we start at 7 p.m. and go until 4 a.m., you can get enough rest after."
Yes.
He's saying it'd be a shorter than usual freak off?
That's how I would understand it.
What do you say?
Carrie is here. We can't do it at my house.
You say, "That guy is sick. I'm not going to ask you what you meant." So you were turning to Johnny. Was he a dancer or an escort?
We hired him as a dancer, but he did what an escort does.
Do you remember the beginning of this freak off in the Intercontinental?
Not really.
The drugs were bad MDMA, right?
I have no idea.
You believe Mr. Combs was blacked out for the Intercontinental event?
I believe he was intoxicated. Everyone's definition is different.
But you said blacked out. What did you write here?
I wrote, when you get fucked up the wrong way,
You meant drugs?
and alcohol.
Here Mr. Combs writes to you, "I am so horny for you."
At this moment, the prosecution objected and said this was not an evidence. Then they continued.
Here Mr. Combs is asking you for sex soon after the Intercontinental, right?
I was saying how he felt.
What did you write back?
I wrote, we need a different vibe than Friday at the Intercontinental.
Mr. Combs wrote, "Vuck Friday, I don't even want to do that again." What did you write?
I wrote, LOL, true.
Mr. Combs suspected you of having an affair with someone else in the industry. What happened when he took your phone?
We were in a car, and he told me to call my mother. When I did, he grabbed my phone and took it.
It was a big fight.
He was just gone.
For how long?
A few hours until my mother called the police.
Did Mr. Combs go through your phone?
I think so. And he called someone on it.
The person you had an affair with?
I don't know if he's playing anymore.
But he was an NFL player, and he was jealous. Wasn't there a time he found out you were dancing with another person in the entertainment industry and took your phone, right?
I don't remember.
It was Chris Brown.
I was not dancing with him.
Look at this. It's from 2013.
Now I see.
What else did Mr. Combs take?
My car, my passport, when he was angry.
Let's refresh you about Mr. Combs being in rehab.
I vaguely remember.
Why did you go to Sedona?
I went to Arizona to get away from the drugs.
I'm going to go to a new topic. Mr. Combs told you to go get the video you'd heard about. What did you write?
I wrote, you keep putting me down.
I'm going to play you some audio.
At this moment, the defense played an audio. This voiceover is what was said in the audio.
If you saw a video of someone f***ing me, who was f***ing me? You have it. Why didn't you show me? 'Cause I'm not disrespectful, bro. If you don't show me, I will kill you. Cut you up. I will f***ing kill you. I've never killed anyone in my life. I am going to fuck you up. It's not going to be blood on my hands. Someone else is going to do it. I'm not playing with you, Sujit. Tell me.
That was you, right?
Yes?
Did Mr. Combs express concern about these videos being released?
When?
Ever.
Yes?
The escort, Jonathan. You thought he took a video?
Yes?
Mr. Combs spent a lot of money to make sure the video did not get released?
I don't know.
You had a conversation with Jonathan Audie that was transcribed?
I'm not sure.
He was volatile?
I didn't trust him.
What did Mr. Combs say when you told him you thought Mr. Audie was recording?
He said he'd take care of it.
Are you aware of an escort leaving comments on Mr. Combs' Instagram page?
I am not.
Now let's talk about rehab. Do you still take Suboxone?
Something like it.
What does it treat?
Opioid addiction.
At this moment, the prosecution objected, but was overruled by the judge.
You wrote a book in rehab. The place treats sexual compulsion.
At this moment, the prosecution objected and the judge asked for a sidebar.
Did you get neurofeedback therapy?
Yes.
What is it?
They hook something up to your head and show you things. See how you react.
Were you told the effects of it?
Help me with my trauma.
Did you participate in EMDR?
Yes.
What does it do?
Memories and processing them.
The idea is you recall prior traumatic memories, like for PTSD. You were being treated for PTSD.
Yes. I was still physically developing.
You were 22.
Women keep developing after 22, don't you think?
But you're not suggesting you were still physically developing after 22.
I am not.
This message is about having a freak off without ketamine, right?
At this moment, the prosecution said,
May I confer with counsel?
the judge said, no, but we will take a break. Then they came back and continued.
Mr. Combs wrote, "You're so predictable. You've said you were going to tell him you didn't want to do freakouts anymore, but you didn't say it, did you?"
I did not.
Here, you were suggesting freaking off with a girl. You say you found a photo of Mr. Combs with Gina while you were staying with your parents in Connecticut, right?
Yes.
You decided to break up with him, and he didn't threaten you but suggested couples counseling?
I don't know.
In August 2018, you called it a closure conversation. Mr. Combs was inviting you to Burning Man, right?
Yes.
I'll read Mr. Combs. You have anger.
I wrote, my family knows I am not running around telling our business. I wrote, I don't need you to be taking care of Kim and Gina. I needed you to put me first.
Please read these.
I wrote, you lied to me. She never went away. It was the nail in the coffin.
You meant Gina, the photo?
Yes.
In your civil lawsuit, you say Mr. Combs raped you in September 2018 after you had dinner at an Italian restaurant in Malibu, right?
Yes.
Did you meet with the U.S. on November 30th, 2023?
Yes, not the exact date.
In this meeting, you said the rape took place after Mr. Combs returned from Burning Man. You said he was acting strangely at that dinner.
I don't remember exactly that word.
Did you meet the U.S. on April 8th, 2025?
Around then.
This message to FB, who's that?
Frank Black, a name he used.
He wrote, I'm in an investors conference. We'll get back to this. You still have love for him?
I have love for the past and what it was.
After this, they took a sidebar, but then continued.
You wrote, I didn't mean to be a bitch, I just don't get the time. He writes, just need you to be positive, correct?
Yes.
DX1309, this is about a yoga instructor?
Yep.
What did you write?
I wrote, I've stopped even caring.
But you did care.
Yeah.
So he said, you could date other people, let's just talk about it, correct?
Yes.
What did you write?
I wrote, I do love you. I would just prefer not being one of your girlfriends. Let's get up tomorrow night. I'll do studio from 6 to 9.
He writes, can I hold you? Or are you just gonna break up with me? And you write back, we can embrace LOL. And you wanted to hug him, right?
That's what I said.
Did you have sexual intercourse with Mr. Combs that night?
I did.
And during that, your now husband FaceTimed you.
Yes.
Your now husband didn't know you were with Mr. Combs at the time?
I don't know what he knew.
Later, he discovered it?
At this moment, the prosecution objected, but was overruled.
You didn't tell your husband you were raped.
Not that evening.
After Ms. Porter's memorial service, you wrote to him that you were going home. Why had he called Kim his soulmate? What was the 11 years all about?
Yes.
That was hurtful.
At that time, yes.
And after that memorial service, you never saw Mr. Combs again, right?
I did not.
He let you go, right?
I never saw him again. I don't know about letting me go.
You got married to the love of your life, right?
At this moment, the judge interrupted and said to take a break.
Ms. Ventura, we're almost done here.
Thank you.
I will read Mr. Combs' messages. You're going to make a beautiful mother. God bless.
I said, thank you, God bless. I wrote, we should talk and have closure.
Mr. Combs sent back a tear face emoji. He said, you were always my ride or die.
I thought it was nice.
You'd been craving that.
Before. I don't think I was craving now.
You shaped you over 11 years. You shaped each other.
Yes.
Your husband's a physical trainer?
Yes.
The house you grew up in Connecticut was relatively modest compared to mansions.
Yes.
You were preparing to tour with a Matt Testa.
Yes, he's an engineer.
Once you settled your lawsuit, you canceled the tour, right?
Yes.
Because you no longer needed the money?
That wasn't the reason.
After the hotel video came out, you posted on Instagram that domestic violence is the issue, right?
Yes, I still feel that way.
DX1015. Mr. Combs wrote, "Want to freak off one last time." What did you write?
I don't want it to be the last time. I want freak off for the first time.
No further questions.
At this moment, the judge asked the prosecution if they wanted to redirect, and it begun.
Ms. Ventura, you were shown this message where you ended. I don't want to freak off for the last time. I want it to be the first time for the rest of our lives. What did you say after that?
Yes, I'm horny. Just got over a UTI.
You were shown messages today in which you and Sean were kind and loving?
Yes.
Did those periods ever last?
At this moment, the defense objected but was overruled.
No, they didn't last. There'd be a downswing.
What world did Sean open up to you?
A world of chaos.
In your 11-year relationship, who did you want to have sex with?
Only him, at that time.
When Sean wrote, "Seduce me all day," what did you do?
Write about FOs.
Were you able to cancel work obligations for freak-offs?
Yes, if I was told to.
When you were shooting the movie in South Africa and you blocked him, how did he contact you?
Through Mia.
He said he didn't remember f***ing you. Did you believe him?
Not always, because I knew him. There were times he was pretty aware of what he was doing. It's just who he was. I'd seen him be violent with other people.
On the way back from Cannes, what did Sean do?
He played a video of me having sex with an escort.
What did he say he'd do?
He'd release it.
When you got to NY, what did Sean ask for?
A freak off or he'd release it.
When Sean wrote, "You ready for tonight?" what did he mean?
Freak off.
What were you afraid he would do if you did not do that freak off?
At this moment, the defense objected, but the judge overruled it. Then after Cassie said,
I don't know that week.
the judge interrupted and said, "Next question."
Do you have any doubt that Sean you?
At this moment, the defense objected but was overruled.
I have no doubt.
After Sean you on August 18th, did you later have consensual sex with Sean during which your now husband FaceTimed you?
Yes.
Why did you cancel the tour?
After I filed my civil suit, I was overwhelmed. Addressing the past the way that I chose to was overwhelming. I didn't want to go.
Do you plan to file more lawsuits?
No.
Would you give the $20 million back if you hadn't have had to do freak-offs?
At this moment, the defense objected but was overruled.
I would give it back to get my agency back.
Did he beat you during freak-offs?
Yes.
Were you open to freak-offs at the beginning?
At the beginning.
Did you tell him when you no longer wanted to do them?
Yes. More than once.
What concerns did you have about saying no to freak-offs?
Safety, career, love.
No further questions.
At this moment, the judge asked if there was a recross, and they continued,
You knew Mr. Combs' sexual preference was these freak-offs, right?
I learned.
It was part of being his girlfriend?
Yeah.
You kept your old device?
Yes.
And freak-off videos in this case. They were all on those devices you kept from 2012 and 2014.
I don't know what year.
You were able to stand at his side at the Met Gala. Being his girlfriend gave you access to producers.
Yes.
Beyond Kid Cudi, what other musicians were you put in the studio with? Were you put in the studio with Nicki Minaj?
Yes.
You were put in the studio with Lil Wayne.
Yes.
And with Rick Ross and Pusha T. Am I forgetting any names?
You've got a lot of names.
You are self-conscious about your musical talent.
I wouldn't say that.
You had a bad performance on 106 and Park.
Early in my career.
You did music videos. Were they successful?
At this moment, the judge asked for a brief sidebar. Then they continued.
D-Rock was like a member of your family?
Yes. Like a brother.
The assistant Mia, you also had a friendship with?
Yes.
Okay, here you begin with an explicit message, and he responds with one, you are actively sexting.
Yes.
You stated that you were feeling overwhelmed after filing your civil lawsuit, right?
Yes.
You recently received a settlement from the Intercontinental?
No.
You made a demand?
Yes. $10 million, maybe.
At this moment, the judge asked anything further, and the prosecution said,
I just have one question.
but the judge said, I was asking Ms. Esteval, can you wrap up in 2 minutes? And they continued.
This is the last thing I'll ask you to read, Ms. Ventura.
Thank you. We need closure and understanding.
Why'd you keep your devices?
I was afraid of what was on them. I wouldn't take them to the Apple Store.
One question. You just reached a $10 million settlement with Intercontinental last week before trial?
At this moment, the prosecution objected, but was overruled, and Cassie answered.
Yes.
That was the end of Cassie Ventura's testimony. After hearing the entire testimony together, instead of in parts, day by day, what do you think now? Did anything change in your opinion after hearing the entire testimony in one? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you tomorrow.
Good afternoon. Where do you work?
HSI in the Human Trafficking Group. I'm in the Crisis Negotiation Group too.
Did you serve subpoenas in this case?
Yes.
When Sean Combs was arrested, where did you go?
The Park Hyatt, room 2115, where he was staying.
At this moment, the photo of the entrance was shown to the jury.
What did you do?
We assigned a letter to each room and began to search.
What was your role?
I took photographs of items, then signed them on the 6051 form.
Was this found in the closet?
At this moment, photos were shown of plastic bags full of Johnson & Johnson baby oil and Astroglide bottles.
Yes.
What was found in the bathroom?
Several bottles of baby oil.
Now the bedroom. What was found in the Louis Vuitton bag?
Medication in the name of Frank Black.
And that is this?
Bags of pink powder found in the medicine bottle.
At this moment, there was a stipulation shown agreeing it was found and tested by Customs and Border Patrol Lab.
Reading stipulation. The pink powder was found to be ketamine and MDMA in bottle.
At this moment, physical evidence is passed around to jury. Then a photo was shown.
What was found in the black mini pack bag?
$9,000.
Please take the cash out of the bag.
At this moment, Special Agent Binda does and starts fanning out the bills.
No further questions.
After this, the judge asked, "Any cross?" and the defense asked only one question.
In the hotel room, did you see any bags and clothing indicating that a woman was staying with him there?
Yes.
After this, the judge said, "The U.S. may call its next witness," and they did.
Your Honor, the government calls Don Richard. Where are you from?
New Orleans, Louisiana.
From 2004 to 2011. Who did you work for?
Puff, Sean Combs.
Do you see him?
Yes.
Who is depicted in this photo?
Cassie.
In 2009, did you observe an incident between Puff and Cassie?
She was by Sean Combs, kicked.
Did you see more by him against Cassie?
Often.
When were you a member of this group?
2009 to 2011.
The incident in 2009 when Sean Combs beat Cassie, where was it?
In Sean Combs' LA home, we were recording.
What did he do?
He was saying, "Where the fuck is my food?" He grabbed a black skillet with eggs and tried to hit her over the head. Cassie dropped to the ground.
What did she do?
She went into fetal position.
Then what?
Sean Combs was kicking her in the head and body, then dragged her up to the first floor, glass breaking and yelling. I was scared for her, and for me too.
Did you intervene?
No.
Did you call police?
No.
The next day, what happened?
That it had been passionate and she was okay. That it would be better if we didn't talk. That people could end up missing.
How did you understand that?
Death.
At this moment, the defense objected, and the judge said, "Sidebar." Those are all the testimonies given so far in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. What do you think of all of the testimonies now that you've heard all of them? What do you think will happen on Monday with Don Richard on the stand? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you tomorrow.